shit back and wait for the top at the time of the month. I'm about to do it again, better do it again, better shit with a song. Ain't gonna talk too bad, ain't gonna talk to the biz.
I want to address something very quickly. As of yesterday, the House of Representatives is trying to pass a bill that will make Christianity illegal, trying to pass a bill that will make the Bible illegal. I'm going to put the articles here so that you can see. But I want you to understand one thing. The Lord told us these things will happen. He said that we will be persecuted for righteousness' sake. He said that we will suffer for his name's sake. Be encouraged in knowing that God is always going to stand with you no matter what happened. No matter what this wicked world try to do, God is always going to reign. This is why the Lord tells us to be rooted and grounded in him. It is time for the believers to put on the whole armor of God because the enemy is fighting against the people of God. The Lord told us in his word, he said, write the words on the table of your heart because there's going to come a time where they are going to take the Bible away. Be encouraged. God is with you. I want to address something.
Canada's proposing a new bill, and it's called Bill C-367. And what it's proposed to do is remove religious exemptions to defend hate speech. So basically, if you are out on a street corner, like a lot of street pastors do and ministers, and you are preaching against something like the LGBTQ community, for example, that would now be considered hate speech, where before it was an exemption. So, you were typically allowed to do that because it's freedom of speech. So again, this bill is now proposing that this would be considered hate speech. And so with that, you will be arrested and can be jailed. Take a look at what Jeff King from International Christian Reform has to say about this.
First of all, it amends the criminal code and it takes away some religious exemptions that protected Christians. So if you're in the United States, we saw the same kind of thing with the Equality Act that the Biden administration was trying to pass. And basically it creates hate speech laws. Some of those have already advanced in Canada, but Christians were protected. They said, well, if they're saying biblical things or if they're saying things according to their faith, whether that's Quranic or biblical or whatever, they're protected. And this is the alarming thing, is that this strips those out. There is no protection. And as always, this is what the dictators and the despots do overseas to strangle Christianity or whatever faith. They say, oh, we have religious freedom, but not in the public sphere.
What would happen to them potentially if this were to pass?
Yeah, well, I interviewed a pastor recently who is a Canadian pastor who's been arrested a number of times for street evangelism. He's not even being obnoxious. He's doing street evangelism, completely legal. And then the cops show up. So if he is in an area where people know who he is and their LGBTQ crowd, they will cause a complete ruckus. And then guess who gets arrested?
So this really is a formality because pastors and preachers and street ministers have been getting arrested for years. There's a very popular pastor who is always out. He travels all around Canada. His name is David Lynn, and he preaches on a regular basis. He tends to target the LGBTQ alphabet community, and he was arrested about a year or so ago in Toronto when he was out preaching against this lifestyle. Take a look at what happened here.
You like what someone's sharing, if you don't like what someone has to say,
the law says we exist.
That's not the main issue.
Well, it is right now because see all these people around here? So you are literally right now.
I'm not literally causing anything. No one told them to block the sidewalk. What did I do? Back up. I'm with him. Back up.
So Pastor David Lynn is one of many, many, many pastors and preachers that have been arrested all over Canada. And as I said, this bill is just a formality. They really just want to push this into law and make it so that we cannot be out here standing up for God. So what I will say to this nonsense bill is that I guess I better give my size for my orange jumpsuit, because I too get into public debates and discussions about scriptures on a regular basis. So what does that mean for me and the 69.1% Black Christian community and religious community in Canada that are out here We are always out ministering. Everywhere you go, you see them with signs on street corners, and they are against the LGBTQ community and against other things that are going on, crime, all of the other things, racism that go on in Canada. So if we are out here and we're quoting scripture, it's considered to be hate speech and therefore jail. Imagine a day where you can be jailed for standing up for God. Yet Canada is so quick to defend and protect the alphabet soup community. I'd like to see that same energy for Black people, which we're not seeing. I'll be keeping...
I'm an Israelite. I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew. I'm not a Christian. No, I'm not a Christian. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. There's nothing wrong talking. That's what he got cussed out for. Yeah, so take the cuss away. It's not trying to... Why would you need to arrest him? Why would you arrest him? It's not a crime to talk. Don't grab me.
These knowledge people now.
I am talking. I don't need to sit nowhere. I'm talking to you here. It's not a crime to speak. 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 I touch no one. I touch no one. That's a crime. Yeah, so let go of me. Well, you come out with a cookie. I touch no one. Yeah, so let go of me. Let go of me. I done nothing. I ain't done nothing. Get your hands off me. I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing. Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. I ain't done nothing.
I will leave him alone.
Yeah, so what you want with me? Yes, so speak to me now. No, I'm not running no time. I'm not running no time. Done nothing wrong. Yes, so speak to me.
What's actually occurred?
Nothing's occurred. I ain't done nothing. I ain't not done nothing racist. No, I have not. I've done nothing wrong. Done nothing. I'm putting for nothing. I ain't done. I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing. I don't need to take the seat for nothing. I've done nothing. I've done nothing. I've done nothing. I done nothing. I ain't done nothing. Done nothing. Done nothing. Done nothing! Done nothing! Get off me! Get off! I have not made no racist comments! I have not done nothing! I have done nothing! I have done nothing! Done nothing! Done nothing! Done nothing! Done nothing! Done nothing! I have not done nothing. No, 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 racist. Do nothing. Do nothing. Do nothing. Do nothing. I'm going to go and sit. What are you doing? That's fine. That goes through it. I've done nothing, and my man's arrested me for nothing! Yes, I did nothing! Of course he did! Arrested me for nothing! Done nothing! Done nothing! What's the crime? What's the crime? Bring me quiet! Quiet what? That's a crime! I'm Hebrew Israelite! Hebrew Israelite! That's right! So it's not a crime to breach! Not a crime to breach! It's not a crime! It's not a
What did he do? No, they have no right to do that. No, I'm worried that he was abusing them. He was abusing the guy behind us. He's been abusing the guy behind us for half an hour.
To where? Move backwards.
To where? Why? We're asking you to. Because why?
We're asking you to.
Yeah, I know.
Minutes after the group's arrival, a patrol officer spotted the commotion and called for backup.
Turn the microphone off.
That's not the main issue.
Well, it is right now because see all these people around here?
Okay, so
you are literally right now.
I'm not literally causing anything. No one told them to block the sidewalk.
What did I do?
Back up.
I'm back up. I'm with him. Back up.
Lynn was then put in handcuffs. The charge, disturbing the peace.
We don't have enough evidence currently to charge him with anything that relates to hate speech or hate crime. However, we would like more videos to come in from
A bit of shock treatment.
This picture means there's a white man in some ghetto.
Shock talk meant to stir people of color into action. That's how Commander General Yohanna, head of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, describes weekly protests he leads outside of the shops at Liberty Place in Center City. This video taken by the ISUPK is posted on the school's website and on YouTube. He says he and members of his Christian Bible school are well within their First Amendment rights.
Because we're hardcore black men.
But shop owners say they've heard enough. Today in court, their lawyers argued the group is trespassing. In addition, they say the group's offensive language frightens customers.
They preach about how they hate white people, how they hate gays, how they're preaching calling women whores. I mean, really hostile kind of language that makes people feel intimidated and fearful, and that's not protected by the First Amendment.
We don't hate white people, but God hates white people.
Commander General Yohanna says members of his group have never physically harmed anyone.
You white people can rest assured we're not going to riot. We're not going to burn down your cities. What we are going to do, though, is we are going to fix black and Hispanic people.